This is somewhat exciting for me. Now, people that know about this pedal are presumably also going to know about Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson has been sort of my favourite uh, electric guitar player, non-jazz for quite a long time. Probably ever since I saw him on G3 with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, I thought that's a guy that I really love what he's playing. Kind of changed my mind about, whether I needed to get involved with the pentatonic scale and all that sort of stuff. And this is one of the most important pedals, I think, on his board. If you believe in this sort of pedal stuff, I wanted to give the Tube Driver a style. This belongs to my buddy Jake Loosemore. Yeah, some more thoughts coming, but here's some playing with it. This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. So this was created by a chap called Brent K. Butler. The story goes essentially that he produced the Tube Driver under the Butronics brand and had some legal issues with Mesa Engineering, and he created then a 59 knob version called the Mini Boogie. That was what eventually the 4 knob Tube Driver would be born from. There are Chandler versions and this one. We're talking about 83, 85 essentially. When this stuff has been around. Gibbons, Gilmore, Johnson. Satriani used it for a bit. I don't remember knowing that, but maybe would have. But let's just hear it, I guess. I only recently did a video kind of looking at whether a tube in a pedal is a necessary thing. I guess we're kind of brought to the more recent kind of stuff with Thorpe and Chris Buck. Here's my clean tone. So Jake wanted me to try some specific settings, so we'll start from there. So it's actually quite a bit smoother than I was expecting. I guess that's one of the things that people like it for. Let's look up Eric Johnson's settings, but he does have a different tube in it, which apparently do make some amount of difference with this sort of stuff. But Eric Johnson's settings are somewhere like this, just with these down. Now, I would say one of the things that people said sounds a bit like this was the MXR FET driver. To me, the FET driver didn't really do anything quite like this. So I would say if you're looking for a cheaper version of the tube driver, look elsewhere other than that MXR thing, because that to me did not get anywhere really in this kind of territory. That could be my memory, but just what my memory tells me. you know, I'd be maybe expecting a little bit more fizz, but it's actually pretty. Quite a natural sounding drive to it. Quite a lot of mids there. There's definitely, to my mind, something a little different going on here with the attack and stuff. And I don't know, you know, most people are not going to be running the drive anywhere near this high, but I think I'm feeling. It's definitely got a bit of a different. Like it's not as tight a response as a normal pedal. And thinking about it, the Zen drive has a little bit of this element going on, where it's a bit of a. It's got this quite nice feeling stepped element to the knobs. Very fuzzy kind of vibes there. I wouldn't say it's necessarily that Eric Johnson in a box type thing going on with this though, and to me it feels like there's way more going on with that Eric Johnson tone than just this. But a lot more flexible than I was potentially expecting, and definitely, I don't know, there's something different about that versus a normal drive pedal. Whether it's something that you'd necessarily want all the time, I'm not sure, but and I think it's maybe something about this is getting me that a little bit of that feeling of when I turned up kind of my Pro Reverb, cranked that for the first time, turning up to 10, where it's a bit of that kind of softer feel to the drive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In conclusion, I'm quite glad I've checked this out. If you've got the question in your mind, does this sound anything like the Helix model? My answer for you is no, basically. I set the knobs the same, tried experimenting with them as well. The kind of drive flavour is not really there. There's not the soft sponginess in the Helix version of it. Yeah, so if you're kind of looking for that soft, smooth, rounded edge to it, and that kind of softer attack, then yeah, I'm not feeling like I'm getting any of that from the Helix. But anyway, let me know if you're a tube driver connoisseur. I think this is a more modern recreation of them. They're not exactly the same. I think there's been some revisions, but let me know your thoughts on that and whether you dig the tube driver, or yeah, would you put up with having, so basically it's got like an actual kind of mains power supply to this. So quite different to a lot of other pedals in that regard. Whether it's something better than any normal other pedal could do, I'm not entirely sure. But if you wanted to do exactly that thing, then yeah, there's a lot of different tones in there as well. More versatile than I thought. I don't necessarily see it having a place necessarily in my rig, but I'm going to try and record an intro with it now. We'll see how we get on.